talk to you at the break, Dave. I feel like you'd be right, because this is the last game I think for the 2011s today.
Okay.
Oh. 2011s, yep. Pretty sure it's the last 2011 game today. Winner goes to the final. Lot of big implications. Ready to wrap things up here on Saturday. Our final 2011 matchup. Saw Team Massachusetts take care of Team New Hampshire in a pretty wild game. 8-5 was the final. We'll see how many goals we see here between Maine and Vermont as we get an early icing just 6 seconds into the game. Winner of this game is heading to the finals on Sunday tomorrow. If it is a tie, Maine will prevail by virtue of the goal differential. But whoever wins this game here today, playing for a trophy tomorrow. Maine is the home team wearing the powder blue jerseys. Vermont, the road team, wearing those mustard yellow uniforms with some green outlining. We'll try my best to not call these two teams the Catamounts and Black Bears. And when you work a lot of games in Hockey East, it's hard to flip that switch off sometimes. Called the Massachusetts team the Minutemen at least 5 different times during one broadcast. Maine in and on the attack early. Good defensive cancellation, and Vermont will try and transition here in a hurry. Reese Del Giaco taken down. Puck flipped on ahead to an open wing. Reese Weaver lost it along the boards. Taken out high by Abbott. He'll turn and fire. And a save can be made there as it's guided into the corner by Owen Brashears as it's into the crease again, and Brashears can get a glove on it as he had the paddle down for the save. Faceoff will come to the right side of the main goal. Out through neutral ice. Logan Dupree trying to back check as it's centered. Just got underneath the stick there of a moment. Twisted in deep. Johnson looking to chase after it for Maine. This is Gover taking it around his own goal. He's able to bank it out all the way down ice. Will it travel all the way? It did, but it was on goals, so no icing. Johnson waiting for it near side. Can't clear it through Gover, who plays it back into the corner. Sent up the wall. Puck is gummed up there just above the goal line. As trying to kick at that was Frowry, who gets caved down there as they dig and scrape away at this puck. It finally is played free, and Johnson can take it on the backhand. Lizotte staggers the blue line. Nearly got spun off of their skates as they look to center. Off of Gover, it nearly trickled towards goal. Beckett Connolly is in net for Vermont, one of 2 goaltenders they have dressed. We'll see if Quincy Cover gets the second period as Maine trying to catch Vermont in a change. But Gover strong defensively with the puck as he sends it up the boards. Weak shot from the half boards, easily steered away by Connolly, as once again it was played off the short side. Vermont looking for a clear, held in by Maine. Veilleux Humped off the puck. Gover, who's been out there for a while, clears it out on the backhand. Nothing doing yet. Just over 3 minutes played here in this first period. First of two 20-minute periods. Vermont back from within their own zone. It is turned over, and now a chance out in front for Maine, and they lead it early. Here 1-0 after a turnover inside the Vermont blue line. Making them pay for it there. Garrett Crutchley on the backhand. Going to the glove side and getting elevation. 16:31 to go in the first. And Maine able to take advantage of a costly turnover inside the line. Vermont will play from behind. They look for more as a rolling puck there. Just got underneath the stick of Johnson. Along the boards, they battle for it. Castingway lost his stick but was able to kick it ahead. And now Vermont can take it in across the Maine blue line all the way into the corner. Jody Semler lost the handle. Castingway pinching in, keeps the play alive. Cuts into the circle with it. Castingway holding on to it. Good poke there. Reaching in. Paul Ray with that good stick check. It is Castingway still protecting out high. A shot deflects and goes wide to the stick side. Puck clattered off glass and ended up hitting the referee. But Maine can get it out of their own zone and get to the red line before changing out in full. Vermont trying to start ahead with it. Malin Wild stopping and starting behind her own goal as she spins away from Johnson. Banked it up the boards. Finally, Vermont can force it ahead, but Lizotte is back to help out defensively. Maine with a 1-0 lead and across the line. Lizotte knocked down. There's a good check there from Gabe Albertson. Tries to force it out along the far side. Wild stepping forward, and she can help it on ahead. We have a whistle. And we're going to see a slashing penalty called. Two players apiece will enter the penalty box. I saw one of the penalties was a slash indicated. Lizotte and Albertson will both sit. Matching minors, so we'll have 5-on-5 with 14:34 to go in the first. Maine ahead 1-0 on Garrett Crutchley's goal. Crutchley found himself all alone in front of Beckett Connolly for finishing it off on the backhand. As Gover tried to step in towards the middle, but he ran into a teammate. That helps the puck back out. El Giaco able to play it in off the boards to space. Maine is there to get a quick clear. Nice move by Gover to cut up the middle. Across the line, he tries to work it around Victor Kiefer, who follows him into the corner. Gover's got the size advantage there. Puck in deep. Vermont in control as it's centered into the slot. Weeks, nice move, and he just missed to the stick side as he dragged Brashears across the grain. This will be an icing on Maine. Great chance, though, right out in front for Ethan Weeks. Pulled the Maine goaltender to his left and just missed on a shot that he tried to label to the stick side. Bit of a stalemate on the draw. Puck still loose there in the dot. Short side chance off the paddle of Brashears. Wild into the slot. Stingway could not knock one through. A chip off glass. Dupree could not hold the line. Now he's pressured by a swarm of Maine players. This is Weaver coming away with it. Reese Weaver in across the line. She lost it. Puck pinched ahead. Weaver trying to find it. It rolls all the way to the wall. That shot there was blocked. Vermont trying to clear it as it was off of Semler. Good aggressive checking there by Remy Barnes, and he helps the puck ahead. Vermont looking for something here as Castingway on the backhand finds a trailer. Semler shoots and holding on to that to the short side. Brashears able to make the save, and there is no rebound. Off the ensuing draw. Maine will skate it ahead. El Giaco trying to slow down Frowry. Puck cleared all the way back down into the Maine zone where a foot race ensues. Montag able to get back there and win the race for Maine. Nobody seems to want to keep possession. A lot of slap hockey going on right now. Vermont's got things under control as they're back in across the line looking for an equalizer. Tatro centers through the blue. Did not miss the stick of Oliver Briere by much. Maine gets it clear, and it's an icing. That'll set up another face-off down by Brashears. Face off to the left of Owen Brashears. Weeks in to take it for Vermont. Weeks able to lock his man up at the dot, but Maine gets it clear. They will look to change out here after the icing. They get most of a full change. Leading here 1-0. Bank back out to neutral ice. Taken by Weeks. Trying to split his way through a sea of powder blue. Weeks didn't have much of an angle to shoot at there as the shot went wide. A good keep though by Wild at the far point. Weeks with another shot, this time from afar. It went off his skate out in front. That was Kiefer getting in the way. And Maine now can skate out of their own zone with it here. Pass up onto the wing. Wild block the return feed. And Vermont will try and spurn some transition here, but Maine defending well here. Shots are 4-3. Haven't been a ton of chances necessarily. And a tightly played game as that one is played across the crease. Fayou trying to dig it free. Instead, it's Vermont to clear it out. Just about at the halfway mark of this period. A 1-0 lead for Maine here. As Weeks shoots in from center and Brashears kicks it aside. Maine looking to get numbers as Vermont was changing. Kiefer stops up and turns the puck over. Maine trying to get back into defensive posture as a shot there was blocked aside. That stung Frowry, who took it off the leg. Now Castingway trying to dig it free. Chops one towards goal. Never got to Brashears. Wing-to-wing passes on for Weaver. Unable to get through Gover. And it's played back into the Maine defensive end where they can go back for it. Vermont looking for a penalty. They won't get one, but instead they'll get an offside. Tightly played game to start. Nothing like what we had in our previous matchup. Massachusetts led New Hampshire 3-0 early in that contest and never looked back. They were up 4-1 after the first and wound up winning 8-5. But with a spot in tomorrow's championship game on the line, no surprise that it's a much tighter game played here to start, at least. Briere will look to forecheck. Hannon plays it D to D. Puck turned over as it's centered. Good block there by Hannon. But it is taken by Vermont, who looked for a penalty once more. They might have had a strong case on that one. Another centering feed. Nobody there in a yellow sweater. Maine gets it out to neutral ice. Del Giaco with a good hit. Able to wind his way back in with the puck, protecting in the slot, waits for Vermont has tied it. Beautifully placed shot by Remy Barnes, who trailed the play and was able to pick the stick side corner to tie this game up 1-1 with 8:29 to go in the first. Del Giaco protecting that puck against two Maine defenders. Did an excellent job to open things up to the forehand as he waited for Barnes to trail the play. And a beautiful placed snapshot to the stick side. This puck travels all the way down, but Vermont unable to milk it out for an icing. Wild losing possession. Sent up to an open wing, and Abbott clears the zone. This will travel far enough for an icing, and Vermont will be unable to change. This is launched down ice. We'll do it all over again. Another icing back down in the Vermont zone. Vermont able to win the defensive zone draw. Sent around up the wing. Frowry with a good pinch. Looks to hold it in again and does. Lays it back around the boards in deep. Wild in the far corner. Able to send it into open ice. Pokes it ahead and out to center. But too far of all of her teammates. Frowry sends it ahead. Maine can get the puck in deep to Dupree's corner as he slaps it up the wall and out. 7 minutes to go here in the first. Weaver couldn't advance it through Dupree. He will flip this one in off the half boards. Puck will just roll out back into neutral ice. Vermont quickly sending it back in where Castingway will chase after it. Has the size advantage there on Frowry as the puck takes a funny carom there off the boards, held by Castingway. Everybody reaching in with sticks. Finally, it can be cleared ahead by Frowry. Only got to the red line, though, as Gover marches back in, gives a little spin, and finds Castingway, who will tee one up. And that shot goes off the side of the net. Made the strings jump there for just a moment. Vermont trying to forge ahead after giving up the game's first goal. Garrett Crutchley got the scoring started. Penalty is coming up. We'll see a trip called here with 5:45 to go, and it'll send Vermont to the box. Garrett Crutchley gave Maine a 1-0 lead. Remy Barnes had the answer for Vermont, and it'll be Barnes who is going to sit if he can get himself into the penalty bench, which he does. Maine getting their first power play as they send a long shot through. Connolly gloved it into the corner, couldn't squeeze onto it as a pass ricocheting on through. So Dunsick could not corral it as it's just forced wide of the net. There was traffic forming in front of Connolly. Maine could not punch it through. Offside on the re-entry there. Johnson able to move the puck back to Graham Lambert. Gets the return feed. Tries to bank it up the wing for Johnson. Instead, that's going to be icing. Just mistimed his pass, and as a result, the Maine power play is going to have to start back from within their own zone. Is taken here by Lambert and played up the wing. Lizotte trying to go across to Johnson. Couldn't get that to go. Bohannon lost the puck to Weeks. Trying to cut in shorthanded. Lambert got a stick in onto him, but Weeks with the puck still. Tries to backhand one towards goal. Nothing doing there along the short side as Johnson tips it on ahead, but too far forward, and Wild can pick it up and kill some more time off the penalty to Barnes that has 40 seconds left. Weeks again shorthanded. Has help in the form of Eli Feldman as it's dropped off now. Dupree with a little toe drag, and now a backhander that was stopped. Rashears cleared the rebound away as it's centered again into the slot. Vermont is the team that is shorthanded but controlling the puck here on this penalty kill that just has about a dozen seconds left on it. Not the power play that Maine was hoping for here. As it's centered, puck bouncing off. There's a point blank save twice by Connolly. Right out in front, made the first save and then had to kick the right leg out on the rebound as we're back to 5-a-side. So Maine, for about a minute and 55 seconds, got nothing on that power play, and then two great cracks there late. It remains 1-1 still as Rashears will hold on to that in his glove with 3:22 to go here in the first. Stalemate on the draw, puck pried free, but the shot doesn't get all the way through from Abbott. Played back to the point. That shot blocked as well. Kicks around, and Maine can get a handle to it. Weaver trying to hit a teammate at center ice. Instead, it finds her again. Weaver looking middle. Good stick from Hestingway, but Vermont just now able to get it clear as it's backhanded all the way down. Henry Sullum with a pass that was behind Weaver. Picked up by Lamontagne. Weaver forcing a turnover. Sees it played back in deep. Maine trying to get on the forecheck as Vermont clears it ahead quickly. Through center ice. El Giaco protecting again. Tried to leave it for a teammate again, but it didn't work that time. As Maine staggers ahead with it. Picked up here and across the line was Frowry, but he was just offside. Puck taken off the draw. Long shot all the way in by Lizotte. And Connolly will take no chances there covering up. Maine wins the draw. Frowry from the boards. Throws one towards goal. Connolly gets his blocker to it. Puck worked free. Johnson down low, unable to connect with the teammate there in deep. As Lizotte tries to force a turnover, and he does. Hooks one across the crease, no one there in a blue sweater. And now Vermont can get it up the wing and out. This is Barnes, the goal scorer. Trying to take it in around Frowry, who knocked him down to his knees. Over trying to keep the line. So Dunzik able to move it just right about to the Vermont blue line, but it's a quick up now. Tatro moves in, a knuckler. Turned away by the standing Brashears, who got a blocker to that. Johnson from out of his skates. Sends it up to neutral ice. As we hit the final minute of this opening period of play, 1-1 between Maine and Vermont. Both of these teams vying for a spot in tomorrow's championship affair, and you can certainly feel it with how they have started this game. Shots are 12-8 in favor of Vermont. Both teams with a goal apiece. It's been tightly played and tightly checked. So Dunzik's shot, unable to get it through. Less than half a minute to go. Feldman able to get it clear. Lambert wants to march back in, but he put the puck too far forward. Final 15 seconds as Weeks got shouldered down there by Lambert trying to sneak in behind the defense. 5 seconds remain. Maine just trying to bleed the clock out here. And they will as the buzzer sounds. And we are through 20 minutes here from the rinks at Exeter. Maine opened the scoring courtesy of Garrett Crutchley. Vermont had the answer courtesy of Remy Barnes, and it's 1-1 as a result through 20 minutes here as we'll make a fresh sheet of ice and return for period number 2. That's up next here from Exeter. Just about ready to start the second and final period of play here in this 2011 bracket. Team Vermont taking on Team Maine in a tight contest here, 1-1. Wouldn't expect anything different with these two teams vying for that spot in tomorrow's championship game. They will face Team Massachusetts, who won 8-5 over Team New Hampshire. Rather convincing fashion. There's a dangerous check there from behind. A boarding penalty is called 16 seconds into the period, and that was a hit that certainly did not look good. Fortunately, though, the Maine player back onto their skates could not get a number, but it appears as though it was number 12, Cole Ray. So a boarding penalty issued just 16 seconds into the second period, but a pretty easy one to call right there. A 2-minute minor. And Maine will take to the power play, looking to restore their lead. Shots were 12-8 Vermont in that first period. Vermont arguably had the better of the possession that opening 20 minutes. Maine on the power play, looking to cross in over the line. Zdunzik driving around the goal. Just had it knocked off his blade. Now it's turned off. Johnson just fanned on it as he couldn't jam it on through Connolly. Puck is in the corner. $1:25 left on this power play, and we get a stoppage. Gonna get a tripping penalty here. 2 penalties in the opening 52 seconds. Maine will cancel out their own power play and will skate 4-on-4. Lizotte frustrated with himself. He will sit. 4-on-4 action on this freshly made sheet of ice. Lambert trying to check Tatro. Lost the handle. And this is cleared all the way down ice, where it'll become an icing as we are now playing at even strength. Vermont will have a very brief power play. They'll get a man back in 69 seconds. There's a new goaltender taking over for Maine. We'll turn to Graham McDonald, number 40. After Owen Brashears played a pretty solid opening 20 minutes, turned aside 11 of 12 shots. Crutchley, the goal scorer, knocked off the puck. And now Tatro back the other way. Lambert trying to keep him at bay with the stick as Tatro takes it around the goal. Back up to the line for Gover. Wrist shot all the way through. There's the first save off the stick of McDonald. 4-on-4 for just about a half a minute more. Off the stick of Gover and in deep. He'll retrieve and look to start a rush. Gover with some speed, skating well. Gover trying to take it to scores. A solid job for Levi Gover as he took the puck from coast to coast and goes high glove side on Graham McDonald. 17:56 to go in the second, and Vermont has their first lead of this game. Gover doing it all by himself. And it's an early goal at that. 2:04 into the period. It is a 4-on-4 goal, and it gives Vermont their first lead of this game. Kiefer in across the line. Abbott stumbled but recovered to play the puck ahead, and now Weeks trying to get his way on through. Nice play, though, by Frowry. An unassisted tally for Gover, who picked that puck up and went coast to coast with it. And a beautiful finish, putting it high over that glove of McDonald. Just the second shot that he has faced. And certainly not an easy one to stop, as Vermont is now on a shortened power play. 27 seconds of power play time. There we go. It was a good song. Just wanted the music to play a little bit longer. This will be icing as Vermont cannot connect on a stretch pass. Vermont tried to complete a line change, won't be able to. Leading here 2-1. On the power play for just 13 more seconds. Lizotte is standing and ready to exit. Abbott coming down the left wing side, trying to work his way middle. Too many blue sweaters there to disrupt him. Del Giaco winding up, shooting, stopped, rebound was also stopped. And Abbott looks to wrap the puck around, and he nearly did. But a goal was saved there just at the last moment. Parker Moody coming in to help out. As Abbott can't control the pass, we're back to 5 his side. He gets dumped in the corner. And Maine can survive that, as it was nearly a 3-1 lead for Vermont. Great play, though, by Parker Moody to help his goaltender out after McDonald had made 2 great stops. Penalty coming up here. Maine was in possession. And it appears as though Moody is guilty of a trip. Tripping is the call. It's a cruel game. You can make a great defensive play in one moment and then get called for a minor penalty the next. So Moody will have to sit for the next 2 minutes. Maine looking for a PK here as Dupree holds it in. Vermont looking for separation. Tons of room for Castingway. Had a teammate at the side of the goal, and Barnes was stopped by McDonald. Along the far boards, they battle for it. Lambert stepped in front of Barnes. Puck is available. And it's twirled all the way back down ice. Picking it up. Wild. Room to skate, and she'll take it. The serpentine route. Had it poked off her blade and goes offside as a result. Dropped off to Abbott, just across the main blue line. Abbott out high, trying to split the defense. He gets through 2, plays one into the blue. Couldn't find Brier's tape out in front. Picked up by Tatro. Tried to filter it in deep, but Maine can take it away and clear with 40 seconds to go on the tripping penalty to Moody. Short pass is on. Del Giaco in across the line. Lizotte just lifted his stick up. Hustling, though, is Gover to keep it, but it is worked out nonetheless by Lizotte. Abbott running to the boards as Kiefer tried to slow him down. 15 seconds to go on this kill as Lizotte can't clear it through Gover. Has it here in the high slot. It kicks on across. Briere cannot play it. And Lizotte clears it as Moody is out of the box. He will stay out there. His Maine was a little disjointed. Pass intended for Weeks, just out of his reach. Puck fired ahead at that Spartan logo in neutral ice. And across the line. Nobody there in a powder blue jersey for Maine, and it's an easy clear for Wild. She couldn't get the puck as far ahead as she wanted to. So Dunzik unable to advance it. Puck onto the stick of Abbott now. Abbott slowed down there. Maine having a hard time completing that extra pass. The possession game has favored Vermont. As Wild flushed out, had her stick lifted there. It'll kick off her skate, and Connolly can get a much-needed whistle to try and get things organized here. Both teams a little disjointed with 13-13 to go in the second period. I don't know if that's a good sign or not. 13-13. Lucky numbers all around here. 13 shots on goal, and it's 13-13 the time on the scoreboard. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. As Castingway tried to battle his way to goal. Great save by McDonald, and the puck was poked free. Just cleared out of the crease in time by Maine. Great stop there by Graham McDonald to keep this a one-goal game. Castingway was moving in with some tremendous speed. It's tough as a goaltender sometimes to try and match that as you're skating backwards. Maine has been outshot in this game, but their goaltenders have played well. Neither goal was on their part. Brashears was beaten to the stick side by Barnes, while Gover was able to beat McDonald with a high-rising shot to the glove hand corner. Maine has not been able to test Beckett Connolly as much here in this second period. We weren't sure if Quincy Cover would get in net, but Vermont is sticking with who they started with in goal. $11:55 to go in the game. Still a long ways to go, as it's turned up the boards by Wild, and Abbott can send it on ahead. Briere into space where Weeks is able to gather it. Trying to cut to the backhand, but he was bothered there by Kiefer. Maine in transition. This is Weaver. Good play by Gover at the line. Kiefer again, able to drub this one into the corner. Maine will change out defensively as Wild, shielding the puck on the backhand, turned it over. As it's into the circle, could be a chance, but stepping into that shot was Gover, as Johnson was looking to hatchet one towards goal. Centering feed, good stick in the circle that time by Weeks, and he'll carry it out through neutral ice. Could not get through Frowery. Steps up and slings it ahead, returning possession to Gover. Gover bothered there, and Johnson gets the steal, trying to advance it, but played it off the skates of El Giaco. Gover steps into an errant pass, cuts back to the forehand, but fanned on the shot. Maine looking to skate it out right up through center. Dunzik trying to split the defense. He could not. It's in the circle. Lizotte's shot was blocked. Feldman stood into by Lambert. Helps it on ahead. Zdunzik moving in. trying to split the defense. He got taken down. A penalty coming up here. This time it'll be on Vermont. McDonald gets to the bench. Extra skater is on for the time being. 6-on-5 as that puck to the short side. And where was that puck? Because it was washed out quickly. A close shave there along the short side, and Beckett Connolly able to hold his ground there, but a penalty will be called on Vermont. Good save there in tight quarters. Looks as though Feldman gets some help opening the door there. He'll sit 2 minutes. And Maine will look for an equalizer here, trailing 2-1. Bernard turned the puck over, and Abbott has time to skate. Abbott gets around a check, moves, and scores. A short rush, and another solo. Jackson Abbott all the way in and through the 5-hole of McDonald. It is 3-1 for Vermont. He just took the puck on a straight line, stepped around to check, and fired it right through the legs of a standing McDonald. A 2-goal cushion now. And 3 unanswered goals. As Maine will look to counter, still a power play. That shot just sizzled wide of the net as it's centered again, ramping up off the strings. A backhander was blocked. Blocked once more by Dupree. Trying to get his footing back underneath him was Abbott, who blocked the first shot. As it's played wide of the cage. Sent up the boards. Kiefer, nice diving play there to keep the zone. Must be a strange divot along the near side boards of the Vermont zone, because that puck's been kicked out a couple of times. Another shot stopped by Connolly. Got tackled by his own teammate. The puck, I believe, was in originally already before it was then fired in. After Connolly made the first save, got tied up with his own teammate Dupree. Vermont perhaps protesting for goaltender interference, but looked like most of the contact there was from Connolly's own teammate. Weaver was by the side of the goal. Not sure if she gets credit for it or not, but with the way her teammates are celebrating down there, it looks like it is hers. The goal appears to stand. And I'm not sure. Not sure what the delay is. I'm not sure if a team issued a timeout or if it's just a matter of the referees explaining things, but it's a good goal, and Maine gets themselves back into the game on a power play tally. Looked like Vermont was trying to protest for goaltender interference. I mean, there was certainly contact. Connolly made that save with his glove, but he got tangled up with his own defenseman there in the crease and just could never recover his positioning. And it also appears as if Maine is shorthanded as well after all this dust settles. 8:29 to go here in regulation time, and Maine finds themselves back into this game, but they also find themselves on the penalty kill. Going to assume it's Weaver who gets credit for the goal, as they announced that it was scored by number 17, but Maine does not have a number 17 on their roster. But let's see. Oh, here we go. We'll figure that out. It's a goal nonetheless. Counts all the same. Maine will gladly take it. Weaver was in the vicinity. Vermont trying to get it back on the power play as that shot was blocked. Weeks sends a defender toppling as he gets it back here in the circle. Puts one off the post on a backhand shot that looked relatively harmless at first. And Maine can clear. That did not look like it had a lot on it, but it found its way near the goal, and it just clanged off the post. 40 seconds left on Johnson's penalty. Maine controls just inside their own blue line. It's worked on over to Frowery, and he'll make the smart play to clear it all the way down. Time continues to tick here in this final period of regulation. Johnson standing ready to exit the penalty box as Crutchley pushes one towards the blue paint. No communication there between Barnes and his goaltender. He nearly tipped that into his own net. As Johnson exits the box, back to even strength. With Maine trailing by a goal, Frowery able to soccer it along. Keeping the zone, but fanning on the shot. And staggering further down was Crutchley. That pass just gets through to Abbott. And across the line, he'll take it. His shorthanded goal is currently the difference maker, but he wipes out. Dupree, the defenseman, peels back as his team changes behind him. Two fresh forwards come out to join the fray. As that shot never got towards McDonald's. Vermont, though, persistent on the puck. As Maine playing pinball right now with the way they're slapping it around their own zone. Got to try and settle things down here. Vermont content to have Maine chase them around for the last 5.5 minutes as that shot deflects and finds a way through. 5:15 to go, and Vermont is back ahead by 2 again. Looked like Garrett Castingway got the last deflection on it as the shot from Del Giaco was hammered from the blue line. A perfectly placed tip as McDonald was moving to his right. No chance to get back to his left. And Vermont has some separation after that redirected shot. Maine was running around and could not get the puck out of their own zone, and it came back to burn them. Del Giaco into the middle, cleared out by Maine. Back on it is Castingway, finding Dupree. Vermont wants to start ahead in good shape late in this contest. Long shot in on goal, and McDonald will freeze it. Off the draw, time and space for Gover. That's stopped by McDonald off his blocker. Maine is going to need 2 goals. Time starting to become a factor here as well. Puck gets away from Lambert. Goes body on body there. Bernard, tape to tape. Crutchley in across the line, trying to spin on Gover. Strong on his feet there. And Vermont just clears as Maine sends back in off of Connolly as that skipped away from him. Now a turnover. Here is Veilleux trying to step middle, but a good play by Gover, who has covered a lot of ice here in this contest. Wild protecting the puck well as she emerges and gets it out across the red line now. Finally was dispossessed by Lambert. And back comes Maine in across the left wing side. El Giaco sticking tight to his man as Johnson trying to wrestle it from out of the corner. Johnson leaves it off there for Moody, gets his stick free along the kick plate. Able to work it back into the circle. Moody turns, holds, shoots, and a glove save made by Connolly. No trouble there. Down to 2:54. We'll keep an eye on McDonald, see if he gets the wave over. Down by 2. Coaches tend to pull the netminder a little quicker than if it was a 1-goal deficit, but we'll see. Maine does have the goal differential in their favor coming into this game. You don't ever want to find yourself laying in a position where you're relying on ties or goal differentials. You want to just win outright if you can. But Vermont, after giving up that first goal, has really come to life. And that shorthanded goal by Jackson Abbott just may end up proving to be the biggest goal that they got here in this game as they ice it with 2:12 to go. Maine is not looking towards their goaltender just yet. Perhaps trying to see if they can get one here before having to go for the pull. Starting to drift out as off the draw, Maine cannot get possession. And so McDonald will have to stay in his net for now. The clock is not running. Clock is not running. Now it is running. As much as we love to be here, there's still 2 more games to go. We can't get too far behind now. Dave Tuttle will be taking over on the play-by-play for the final 2 games here tonight, and then we're back tomorrow for 2 consolation and 2 championship games. Donald able to make the stick save. Puck is cleared out with a $1:40 to go. He remains in the net for now. Maine with the puck. Only briefly, though, in the attacking zone. Dupree trying to send it ahead, and he does. This is Weeks stepping into the circle. Kicked out by McDonald. Rebound available. It's taken by Vermont, trying to kill off some more time here. Veilleux trying to get through center. Crosses over the line. Got spun off the puck as we hit the final minute here of period number 2. Donald is staying in his net as Castangue finished a check off on Kiefer. That got a rise out of the Vermont bench. Puck chiseled off the glass, back out to neutral ice, under 40 to go. This is Gover. Long shot all the way in, and McDonald kicks it aside with 30 left in the tilt. Short-handed breakaway goal for Jackson Abbott. Gave the home side, or rather the visitors, a 3-1 lead. And after Maine was able to pull back to within one, Vermont kept them at bay for the rest of the game. Just 17 shots on goal allowed. And Garrett Connolly did his job in net as Vermont takes it by a 4-2 final over Team Maine. They will play for a title tomorrow against Team Massachusetts. Not a ton of shots, not a ton of chances, but Vermont made the best with what they've got, scoring 4 times and holding Team Maine to just 2 goals on 17 shots.